Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you've been having a lovely relax after Christmas. Today we're going to talk about planners and specifically kind of how I use my planners for art. So I've been planning this way for the last 6 years and this will be my 7th year. So I wanted to kind of show you and kind of talk you through a few of the things that I do and how I kind of incorporate little bits of sketching into my planners as well. So we're going to go through, we'll talk about what planner I'm using this year. I will show you kind of sneak peeks through some of my planners that I've been using for the last 6 years, and kind of talk to you a little bit as well about like what I was doing before that and how this kind of all evolved. But the first one that I started with was this Chic Sparrow. This is I think it's a passport, could be a Pocket Plus, and this has the Moleskine Daily Diary in it, plus another little Moleskine, which was the City Planner, which I just like to have always an extra little notebook for overflow. So I was kind of trying it this year. I used to journal since I was 14. I used to journal, and I'd always kind of make the journals a bit decorative. But I kind of went into art journaling, and then I really kind of wanted to find a way to bridge that gap a little bit without like full-on journaling. So I decided to try this kind of planning system where I had just a little kind of daily section, so it wasn't too much. I didn't have to worry too kind of dramatically about taking a long time to write, but I could log something from the day. I could also put in appointments and quotes and just kind of other things that I may have found, so like notes and things like that. So that was the first year, and I really enjoyed it. I found that I could do a little sketch, even if it was like a kind of the date, like a kind of a date stamp, like a kind of build your own vintage tab kind of thing, or something like that. So then I went from there. I kept doing it, and you can see here, like, this is kind of the stack of how these have evolved. I've used larger ones, I've used kind of smaller ones, and this year will be kind of the largest and kind of heaviest one as well that I've used. So we'll see how that goes, because I have been enjoying kind of the smaller variety. So this one here is the 2nd year that I did it, and I moved up a little bit into a Moleskine a Midori A6 1 page per day, and I also really enjoyed this. So obviously 2020 was the struggle of a year. I was watching a lot of planner videos. I was enjoying using the little stickers. You can see here as well, like I was using the Wink of Stella and a stencil. I was using fountain pens and kind of sketching things out, and also just looking at like page layouts. I was using the gold ink again. You can see that was a neo color, and just kind of different things. I really just enjoyed that kind of ability to maybe use a new art supply or try something out just within the context of a very kind of low pressure page. So there was another kind of planner in between these two, but I couldn't find it. But it's a B6, so it was the same size as this one. I actually think I really enjoy the B6 size. It's kind of not too large and not too small. And you can see that like for the monthlies in this one, we did this on this channel actually. We kind of went through and I was just doing like a little sketch within that monthly box each day. And then I went to kind of a larger planner. So this is more, I think it's even bigger than an A5, probably like an 8 by 10 inch one. So I really liked this one. This is a Tinne+mia one. The thing at the time, I was disappointed in that it didn't have a linen cover, but I really loved the layout of I love the layout of their journals, and I loved, just kind of the size, being able to kind of branch out. I was jotting down things. I was doing like, you can see like little graphite kind of studies, and I really enjoyed just at the end of the day taking a few minutes to jot something down. So this was the one I used this year, and we'll talk a little bit more about that one. And then this is the one I'm going to use for next year. So this is a Chic Sparrow. It's the Secret Garden edition, and I'm showing you this plan. This one's probably about 15, 16, 17 years old. It's very well loved, but I was looking at this website late, and it's called Secret Garden, so there's a pink, a purple, and I thought this was like this green. From the photo, kind of there's a shadow on it, and so I thought, oh, it's it's this really soft kind of mint green. It's actually white, which I didn't really check, but yeah, I still really love it, but I just kind of showing you that there. So I do always recommend like just, you can usually like just search it on YouTube and there'll be like a review or something. But yeah, you can see here I'm showing you that prior to doing this kind of planning system, I was using more art journals. So this is one I think we did on the channel. I do have a playlist, I think, for making these kind of things. And you can see here like the first Matryoshka card that we did. But I was really, really enjoying these for quite a few years. I probably started in like 2013 or 2012. And then, I was just really enjoying kind of using these. And then kind of suddenly I needed a little bit more structure. So I needed something where I could also write down to-do lists. I could write kind of grocery lists, or I don't know, just different things that I could kind of incorporate all into one place. But because I kind of had it there as well, I could use sketches and things, use it for sketches and things as well. So this is the one that I used this year. And again, it's a Tinne+mia one. I really love the linen cover of this one. So this one comes with 3 booklets, and it's quite a nice portable size. One thing that's really nice about their planners is that it's each month they have like a different color for that month, and they're kind of these soft mauves and blush colored pages. They've got a little bit of space for kind of sketching, like some blank space, some dotted space, grids. So I have really enjoyed this one. And you can see that quite often for example, if I have a really busy week and I haven't done anything, I will go back, and if I've seen like an image or like maybe an old postage, like you can look up like French seals from antique letters or something like that, or something from a building facade, and I will just kind of sketch that in and just kind of have a look at maybe creating a sketch. I've also like just put in things like this, like when I go into Millie in the mornings, I'll say, "Did you hear my heart?" And then she goes, so but they give you like 2 half years and then another monthly booklet. And so in this one, this has like a lot of notes space, like pages. So I'll sketch, like do really quick sketches of paintings that I'm thinking. One of the things I'd like to do, so you can see kind of side by side here, these are both Tinne+mia ones. One has kind of just a larger place to write, which I really liked. But if you do like something more portable, and it does have a nice linen cover, So yeah, there's a variety there, which is really nice. The other thing that I have been enjoying doing is using these alphabet stamps, and I will show you those as well in a minute. But yeah, like even like on sometimes old like biscuit tins or something like that, there'll be quite a nice emblem or something. So I kind of try and sketch them, make it a little bit my own as well. Yeah, I have found this such a useful practice. So sometimes, you know, we get busy and can't always kind of paint. You can see like this was when we got Millie, and I haven't put anything in these 2 weeks. Last December, yeah, was it last? Yeah, last December. It was crazy busy, but yeah. I don't know if anyone remembers just growing up with a landline, and you'd always have a piece of paper and a pen next to the phone in case you needed to take notes or take a number. And I would always just be like kind of sketching little boxes or diamonds. I never knew kind of what to just sketch kind of mindlessly. And so this has kind of given me that a bit of that ability. The other thing you can see here, this is one of the books that I used as kind of a book for the year. So I talked about that at the beginning of the year. You can find videos. But for this year, I'm going to use these 2 books, Lines for Birds and The Flower Hunter. So I will often have just a book that I kind of come back to throughout the year and think about the images, think about the color palette, like read it. Sometimes like I don't have a lot of time, so it's nice to kind of have something there that I know I can just grab it for 5 or 10 minutes and kind of look through that and think about it. Yep. And then the other thing that I've done this year, I got one of these Moleskine. This is like the 18-month planner, and I've put some holographic tabs in every month. And I'm starting to use the, so each month is like, has a different theme. So it might be art notes, it might be painting, watercolor, gardening, etching, knitting, something like that. And so I'm trying to get the notes off my, like I'll often take notes on my phone or like a screenshot or something. So I'm trying to get that into a more, like a place that I can kind of view it more easily. And then this here was an outdated planner that I didn't use. I still really love. I love the pages, the paper and the color and everything. So I'm using this one as like an overarching art planner. So it doesn't really have a time limit, but I will use it for YouTube. I use it to sketch ideas and designs. I'll use it to take notes, and yeah, I really love this. So I can roll things over as well. Like if I put down kind of things for YouTube videos and I don't get to all of them, then I can put them on to kind of keep going. But this has been so useful. So if you have like an outdated planner, this is a really good way to use that. And you can break down your kind of art into goals, like things that you think you want to improve on, things that you already have improved on. That's also a good list to put down. Things you've worked on in the last year and that you've achieved, and then things you'd like to continue to work on. So you can see here, like the planner I used this year, quite lightweight, and then the one for next year is going to be quite heavy. But this is the Chic Sparrow Secret Garden. I think it's the Shasta color, so the white colorway. I did get the lining, so yeah, I really like the lining. And then I've got this little kind of B6 kind of notebook in the front just for extra things. And then I'm using the Midori Codex. So this is a 1-day, 1-page, and it's the dot grid. You can actually perforate the corners here so you kind of know where you're up to in the notebook as well. This is an A5 size, so it's quite a large kind of sketchbook. You can see there's like 2 little dots there just to do the date at the top, and then it's got a kind of an open spine binding there, so it lays flat. And yeah, I really like this. These are on sale at the minute on Amazon for around $20. I think when they first came out they were like $36, so yeah, it's a really good price. And then you can see we got a little visitor, but yeah, I am really enjoying this. I got this date stamp here. You can see how inky my fingers are from using it. So I put the date to what the date was down the bottom, and then as I was stamping it here I realized it's doing a full flip, and you've actually got to put the date at the top where you can't see it, so that when it flips it's on the right date. So yeah, that was a little bit tricky to figure out, but yeah, so I got a date stamp to kind of see how that would go. I have just started doing a couple of sketches in the beginning here, like since we've been working on the matryoshkas, I just kind of sketched a few out, and you can see this is where I started to do the plaits. I did like a smaller braid, and then the wings here as well, and then you'll see like on the next page here I do like quite a longer braid. And yeah, I was actually planning to do, since we were kind of doing the 12 matryoshkas of Christmas, I was planning to kind of sketch out 12 different nesting dolls. Just as you kind of sketch things, you think about different ideas, but I only got to 4, so anyway, one's a little tiny one. But yeah, I was actually quite happy with the paper here, and just that I can kind of use this to sketch for a day if I don't want to pull out a sketchbook or something like that. I also quite like how like the ghosting, and you can kind of see it from the other side. I also added a Phenology wheel at the front here. So these, I heard about these probably a few years ago from Melissa Sweet, and then I think they've become quite popular this year. So I will link a video as well that I watched, which was really brilliant on how to create these. But I just kind of sketched out some circles, and then I kind of did these more curves around the top and the bottom, and then just did a little bit of like decorative kind of some drop shapes and some dashed lines there as well. So nothing too complicated, but makes it look a little bit more lacy. But I thought this might be nice to just have at the front of the planner to kind of go back and do a quick sketch each month. Yeah, again, like I do like to, if I've got my planner there, I do like to just use it for a little bit of low-key sketching as well. I also created one in a proper sketchbook if I wanted to do that as well, but quite a few of you have let me know about those on Instagram as well. So let us know if you have specific like plans, if you're going to create one. And yeah, I also did a pen test page, you can see there. So you can see that just at the beginning of the book, what was nice about this is kind of having extra pages and just kind of just being able to kind of potter around and use it. So I have these alphabet stamps from Tim Holtz, and I think this is like the circus font or something like that. This is an old stamp pad that still is, you know, really going well. I think it's the champagne gold color, and yeah, so I just used this. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I do not anticipate using one page per day. Like sometimes I might use just half a page, but some days like I might need to do a to-do list, especially like this year I'm planning to do some shop updates and things like that. So I always need more room to kind of make to-do lists, and also like maybe write in recipes or like color palettes, things that I am working on. So yeah, sometimes I might use more pages, sometimes I might use less. So I think it will kind of all work out over the year. and also, if I don't finish the whole book this year, I can always do 2 years in this planner as well. So yeah, it's just been really nice. And what I decided was that every month I would stamp out the month on like a cover page. And so for this one, you can see here I accidentally did the V instead of the Y, so then I re-stamped on top of it. It looks okay, but yeah, you always kind of want to clean the stamps as well. Yeah, not concentrating when I was filming, but yeah. And then so after the title page, I want to do a monthly to-do list. So every month I'll do the title page, and then like a monthly running list of things that need to be done, and I can just kind of tick that off as it goes, or just keep adding to it through the month. And then after that, I'll just go in and, you know, do the dailies and whatever else needs to be done. And then I also kind of like to have a word or a thought for the year. So this year it's kind of cumulative, like those small steps that we kind of accumulate and we kind of cultivate, just tiny things that kind of add up over time. So yeah, that is kind of my kind of thing for the year. And then the other kind of art journal thing that I have, this is a Chic Sparrow as well. I got this quite a few years ago, and this setup doesn't change, but every year I change out the notebook here for a new notebook. So this is an A6, this is an A picker notebook, and I love using these for just color mixes, color notes, and just little things that I kind of do over the year. I was going to show you, I did find some that I used before this. They were like large kind of watercolor papers. I might show you that in the next video, but you can see here again, this is something I've been doing for 6 or 7 years and really enjoying kind of this as well. It kind of houses the thought process I was having those years, the pigments I was using, the colors I was using, some of like the materials. And so this is a really nice way as well to use a planner cover. So if you have like an old or a planner cover that you're not using but you really love. The other thing I was going to say is Chic Sparrow is having a 50% off their overstock sale until the end of tomorrow. So if you see this and you put in the code overstock50, you can get one of their covers for pretty affordable and price. I would definitely recommend it. And so then you can see kind of these are all the years and kind of different things. The one on the left there's the very first one that I started with, and you can see like the watercoloring even isn't that good, but as you kind of, I guess this is part of the cumulative kind of idea, as you continue to build those little steps, things get better, and it kind of, you may not notice the progress, but when you look back, there's quite a lot of progress there. Like this, at the back here, I've also added in some watercolor papers. I used to take this out with me and kind of sketch in this as well. So so that is a really nice idea as well, to have not just a sketchbook, but have like a planner kind of cover that you can kind of put a sketchbook in, maybe put some other books in, and take out with you painting or like, various places kind of that we have to go. It's quite nice. So that is everything. I think there's 2 more days for the sale on the Verdant Garden course, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get the palette swatch video up. I will try and get it up by New Year's Day, but I think I thought this video would be going up on Saturday, so I'll see how I go, but if I don't see you by then, have a really happy new year, and I will see you soon. Bye.